Welcome to another episode of the Grim and Bloody Theater. Your host, Anthony Durowan, founder of the Death's Parade Film Fest that happens every year in San Jose, California. Well, not this year due to the coronavirus, although we will be back in 2021. Tonight we are screening the trailer for the Millennial Killer. If you think this is a take on the San Francisco Bay Area housing crisis, you'd be wrong, but not by much. It hails from London, England, and was written and directed by Sam Bell and produced by Martin Payne. Both gentlemen will be joining us tonight immediately following the trailer as we talk about everything we possibly can without giving away spoilers, so sit back and enjoy.
In a world where affordable housing is no more, the estate agent lures millennials to their death. He is the Millennial Killer. A step onto the housing ladder is a step on the path to hell. He robs the young of their voice. You'll never escape the Millennial Killer. His flat, his rules. There is no safe space from the Millennial Killer. Critics say Simon Berry is the Millennial Killer.
Well, thank you very much for watching that trailer called The Millennial Killer. That was written and directed by Sam Mason Bell and produced by Martin Payne. And we just so happen to have both men on with us here today. And we're going to talk about the trailer and a little bit about the feature that is available right now under Dark Side Releasing, as well as Amazon and a number of other places. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on today.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for being on.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I would say that the Millennial Killer definitely rings true for the San Francisco Bay Area. I know you guys are from the UK, but yeah, to say this strikes a chord here is an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, we might have different perspectives on that. I focus less on the bad side of it, more the propaganda mindset of the estate agent. But I know it works for people in different ways to film, so that's okay.
And that's because Sam is so much younger than me, you see, because I produced the film on the basis of, actually, I'm quite sympathetic towards the estate agent. I fully get what he's going through.
I'm a millennial to some degree. I'm 31, but that's still a millennial apparently, so...
I won't go too hard on you guys. But what I saw from the trailer, it looked extremely good. I'm already a fan of horror, so I want to see this. But if I wasn't a fan of horror, I would say that the material is extremely relatable. The killer looked unassuming. In fact, it looked like a couple of the real estate agents that be, prowling the streets around here. Everything, all the boxes are checked off. You guys had, the gore going on. You had the music. This whole thing looks like it's going to be a rip-roaring time.
Yeah, in terms of the music and all the soundscape of it, the guy who did that for us, Alex O'Neill, just has done a superb job of really trying to play with the audience's mind during the whole film, because the music is there, the sound is there, but you're not quite sure whether it is or not, and he really did a good job on that. That's what I think really worked well.
This is what I was going to say. We had a beautiful collaboration between some great creators. We had David Johnson on makeup. We had cinematographer Jackson Batchelor, and then of course Scott's directing. And we all just kind of came together quite nicely, and we all have an understanding of what a slasher genre is. So it's trying to give it like with a modern spin on it by looking at the venues, and having more of like a focus torture house kind of piece.
What, if I may, what attracted you, and this is a question to both of you, what attracted you to the idea of centering on millennials? Is there something that you thought that this is a good area to mine for a horror film, a serial killer film? Why millennials?
So I was first, or do you want to go, Mark?
No, off you go, Sam. You wrote it.
Personally, for one, millennials are just young people, which of course is the ultimate archetype in any slasher film that you ever have, is that it's going to be killing younger people. And secondly, my personal perspective is I come from an estate agent who is someone who's brainwashed by the idea that all millennials are causing problems. So there's also that kind of ultimate nightmare idea that it's much harder as a millennial to actually get to buy a property or even to rent because of so many crazy restrictions nowadays. So the idea of them getting even an opportunity to do it, and then he's a serial killer, it just kind of felt like this can play quite nicely in being a good fear piece as well as being entertaining.
Right.
Right. I have a question. Can you tell us who's in the cast of this film?
Yeah, Bob, do you want to ask that one?
Hang on, if I slightly move up a bit, so to just demonstrate there, the serial killer over that side, I've now got to reverse where I'm pointing, is played by Simon Berry, and he came in quite late notice actually. His principal victim is down there, Alice. And she sort of survives the whole film. Not giving any spoilers away, but she does survive the whole film, and it's through those two main characters that the whole story plays out, and all the guys involved, guys and girls involved. Sam has works a lot down in Portsmouth, in the south of the UK, and has worked with an awful lot of people down there, and so we can bring those people on board. But we also looked slightly wider, so we've got a guy there who was on a reality TV show, and we got him on board as one of the characters. So we sort of slightly spread the net slightly wider, but they're all British. None of them came from San Francisco, so they're none of them. But, you know, if only we had the budget.
You could have cast Anthony.
I could have been the killer. I would have done it free.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Anthony. Of course, Simon Berry plays the killer. He plays the real estate agent. And he came on board 2 weeks before we actually shot. At that point, it was just a case of I was originally due to play the killer, and I was also trying to produce the film, and it all just got... The production side needs to take priority, so let's find someone else to literally step into my suit. So the costume that Simon wears through the film was actually mine. Now, he's slightly different size to me, so if you think the costume doesn't quite fit, it doesn't.
Yeah, I noticed that.
To make clear with Simon as well, Simon's hair, that's not Simon. Simon hated having to do that haircut for the role because he's more of like a bit of a punk rather than the kind of, you know, age kind of man. That is not Simon at all. But he did it, and you know, he gave it, I guess, to a edge by brother. This means him freaking out a long time, but it's go back there.
Now, when I took a look at that at Simon, and I said this to you guys off show, he looked to me like Donald Pleasance from the from the 70s and so forth. I know you guys are millennials, mostly probably don't even know who Donald.
They got you, Kevin.
But, it looked like, and as a matter of fact, I think Simon kind of, channeled that mama's boy kind of milquetoast, character. I think, as was said earlier, he's kind of brainwashed, and it's interesting, to see. Were you guys going for a little bit of an old school vibe to the film with getting Simon involved?
Well, Simon's Simon's an actor I work for a lot. He's a very good friend of mine, and we just did a comedy show with each other right now. So I knew he could play off comedy quite well, and he played the villain in the film that we did with Martin, Synopsis a couple of years ago. So I knew he could do that with character, and we did want to give a bit of a 70s British horror vibe to it, but also a bit of a giallo kind of colouring. Because at the end of the day, we wanted to make an entertaining film rather than like more of an art house horror or a pure schlock trash kind of film. So we were trying to get like the blend of those, just those kind of styles that fit quite nicely with the serial killer genre.
It's also the fact that we managed to get into it almost without us realising quite a bit of comedy and humour, because Simon was just reacting to what was going on some of the time, and the location that we had, the apartment, had in it a chandelier, and it gets referred to and referred to and referred to, and when we first showed it to an audience, people started to laugh. And we didn't have any dogs in ours either. People started to laugh at it, and I just suddenly realised that actually there's a humour in that. And every time we've seen it at a festival, people have reacted to the chandelier, which is really stupid, but it's there, and it just happened to be there. We didn't plan it; it was part of the furniture.
I'm a fantastic improvised actor as well, and a lot of our scripts are built with like an improv bullet point structure. So he was doing that with our comedy show right here, right now. So I know that he's going to be able to flip off it correctly. You know, he will always bring it to a slight British absurdity with his humour as well. I know the kind of stuff that finds fun.
No, I did enjoy that Chandelier bit. I was like, what's the fascination about that chandelier? I love it.
Well, that'll be in the sequel, of course. Oh, we'll explain all about the chandelier in the sequel, Joe. So, you know, you won't have long to wait.
Chandelier 2. The revenge of somebody.
Yeah. Well, the turning on of the light.
I was able to catch the film, and I did. I was thinking myself on the chandelier bit. It seems like the estate agent needs some some validation from people that you stupid millennials notice that I did this. I handmade this chandelier. I did these cabinets and so forth. And it's almost kind of like in a sneering way, kind of like a way of telling, this was back when I, guess you millennials, I actually got my hands dirty.
And I think, Kevin, that we're probably of like mind, that if any of those millennials had actually said, oh yes, that's really nice, I really like it, I really like what you've done with this property, he probably would have let them go. Such a shame they didn't,
Sure.
That's not going to happen.
No.
But I can also picture him saying, I could let you go, but nah, I'm going to kill you anyway, just because you're a millennial, and I have a killing urge.
As Simon says in one of his lines, stop it. that just about sums up him,
Now, there was a glimpse in the trailer that really caught my attention. It was this scene of gore. I don't know the context, but it looked like a woman that was on the ground, and she was covered in some stuff. You guys want to talk a little bit about the practical effects that you put into it?
Well, I really feel like we were kind of lucky with this film, because we had Katie Johnson, we also had Claire Haxor White. We had two makeup artists who both brought so much, just a little bit more detail. So there's one particular gore bit that I like where Recce Patel, who plays Daniel, is smacked in the head with a hammer, which I believe is in the trailer. And it was just that visceralness, and like when John Yule, the sound designer guy, like put that extra element of like crispiness, and it's just like, this is cool, because those sort of films, they're set piece films. So you need to have a little bit more to the gore. And I'm glad that we took a bit of time to think about that, and yeah, get quite good films.
There's another piece in there as well that gets me every time, and it's in the trailer, and it's where Alice, playing the main victim character through the film, has her lip cut. So Simon, as the estate agent, the real estate agent, takes a pair of scissors, just goes up to her lip and snips. And Sam sent me the original trailer, which I watched 7 times to make sure it was right and perfect and we could release it. And at least the first 6 times, I flinched. Every time I saw those scissors going in, the snip happening, because for me, it was just a bit too real. And I looked at some of the sort of behind-the-scenes footage recently, which I was taking just on my cell phone, and realised he was miles away from her mouth.
That's when it gets good.
That's when it gets good.
You can't tell the difference between when it's real or fake, or when someone on set is jumping because they think, oh my God, this person just got hurt. We need an ambulance. It's like, no. I just did a good job.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, just rewatching that so many times, every time getting me, I just thought, yeah. The person we got on board on that particular shoot was Claire, as Sam says, and she did a marvelous job. And we had more than one shoot, so we weren't able to get her back. We used Katie Johnson instead, who did an equally effective job. So we count ourselves extremely lucky that we had that support. You need that support in a horror film.
Yeah. No, that brought up my question too, because I previously, before you gentlemen have gotten on, I was telling both Anthony and Kevin that it was really impressive that you had 2 women doing the makeup and the effects for this film, which
Right.
I wanted to commend you guys on, without giving anything away.
Yeah, they're great people to work with. And Katie, we've had the pleasure to work with on most of our recent films. I feel like when you're making films, it's nice to bring in the same collaborators, because they've got their skills, and you know that you can work with them, and you know that they're always trying to do something more interesting, especially with makeup artists. Sometimes makeup artists just get stuck to a basic stab wound, but obviously they want to explore something a lot more bigger and more visceral. And just gives them a bit more fun with what they're doing, and I hope that we can give that to the makeup artists working.
Yeah, I don't know if Sam actually knows this, but Katie, I brought into the Trash Arts crowd really, because I wanted a makeup artist for a short film that I did about 5 years ago, which just had in it the fact that an eyeball was being removed by a knife being stabbed into the eye and then pulled out.
Yes.
And,
yes.
And Katie said, "Yeah, I can do that." And I've got this lovely shot of this eyeball, not a real one, obviously, on the end of a small dagger, with nice blood dripping down.
It's been a while since we've seen a really good eyeball gag, right, Kevin?
That's right.
Right.
Get the eye.
Yeah, I might send it to you, Joe.
Thanks. I need it for a prop.
Now, what I noticed from the trailer even was that you guys de-emphasize gore in favor of the characters. The storyline itself is certainly intense enough, and the themes of it. Was that kind of a conscious effort that we weren't really going to be the gore fest? Let's tell the story first, and then we'll add the effects.
See, personally, I feel like for the gore effects to fully work, we need to give it well-roundedness to characters. And because we only essentially have like people coming in, seeing a flat and being killed, we want to give enough of them to be either an archetype or enough personality to So you have a bit of empathy or get a bit annoyed with them, so you can have some sort of emotional response. And to me, I just wanted to have some particular characters that you can follow in that respect, but for you to have most of your empathy towards Naomi, Alice Mulholland's character, the main female throughout the film. So it was a case of going, okay, rather than, although in saying that, 10 people get killed, we did a kill count recently with Simon, because we were working out with different serial killer film whether is he the top serial killer of trash hearts? Realized that essentially, he's killed 10 people. So technically, there are a lot of kills in there. We just wanted to have some more well-rounded characters before just killing them.
Yeah, it's making sure that the audience, when you watch the film, you need to be able to react to all the characters. You need to be able to decide for yourself whether you're siding with the millennials, or you're siding with the real estate agent, or you're just enjoying the gore. And to not have so much gore in the trailer hopefully intrigues people to actually go, let's see how good they are. And I've talked about a lip cut. We have got a throat slash. We've got the hammer into the head, and all of that is in the film, and all of it looks, I think, pretty good. When you bring it down to, this is a no budget UK independent horror movie, and it's but hopefully it works. The views we get back from people say, yeah, it does, it works.
That is fantastic. Go ahead, Anthony. I think you had a question.
Sure. Yeah. Now, you guys had some behind-the-scenes footage that is not available on the Blu-ray. Is that correct?
Yes.
We think so.
That's the first time I watched it when I was saying it.
These aren't incriminating footage, is it? We're not gonna.
No. That still is on my cell phone, so that's fine.
Sam bowed his head into his hands like, oh my God, I can't believe he caught that.
Well, if you guys want to, you can introduce it here for the audience.
It depends which one you're showing. I know that there was certainly the location that we had for this, the apartment, was literally an empty apartment, and I managed to do a sort of recce the week before we started shooting, just to walk through through the apartment so that Sam could see what it was like. So he started to get an idea of all the shots that he could get, and that's certainly one of the if you like, hidden behind the scenes footage that we sent through. And then we tried to replicate it, and I have to say, Jackson Batchelor, who was DOP for the actual shot of the walk through the apartment in the film, did so much better than I did.
That's right. It was just a demo. That's right.
Yeah, it was a recce.
So you actually sent us some videos that we're going to show on the behind the scenes. Can you give us an idea? I think it was it 4 videos? Yeah.
So the first one was the location recce. I can't remember which ones they were. Certainly, there were the fourth one was actually the apartment we used was in one part of the south of the country of the UK, and part of the film was filmed 50 miles away, because it just so happened it was like that. So the fourth one is just a behind the scenes of one of the deaths, which is actually an old lady, not a millennial, being attacked in an alleyway.
So we're going to roll that one first.
Okay.
All right.
Well, 13A, 14.
Shot 14, take 1, action.
Suki played that character because we just felt that actually the story is there. All the motivation for the real estate agent is there, but we just needed that extra bit to really almost hammer it home to say, yeah, this is why the real estate agent is doing it. So we had to film an extra bit a couple of months after the rest of the film, which we did 50 miles different to where we shot the first bit.
He and Jackson did like a role reversal for it. So he directed that particular scene that we had in I shot it, hence why in the video you'll see Jackson Bashing's on the other side, but I'm crouched on the floor in a weird position filming. But I'm very much that kind of relaxed like this. That's me on the floor. Which, yeah, I've not seen that footage. I need to lie on the floor and that's relaxed, I think.
You did have a camera in front of you at the time.
Oh yeah. It's just such a relaxed.
You were working.
The other two videos, I believe there's the snipping scene that we discussed with scissors.
Okay, so we can run that one. Let's do the snipping scene. Go.
Yeah.
Gunshot. Ready? Yeah. No. Now, careful. Oh, no. First one.
So yeah, that's the snipping scene, which always gets me in the trailer. The fact that we cut the actor's lip or the character's lip, but actually from the behind the scenes footage, you can see scissors are nowhere near her. But it still gets me every time, and I know the secret.
So what do we got next? What's number 3?
And then the third one is, in terms of the behind the scenes footage, is just a shot just to show the huge crew that we actually had working on this film. And it's just a scene where the young couple, right at the start of the film, actually come in towards the apartment block, and it's just down to, we've got Sam, Jackson, sound.
All right. Let's go ahead and run it. And we're back.
So yeah, we obviously we have thousands of people in the crew working way off behind the scenes.
That was a big production.
Absolutely a big production. One of the reasons why I became the producer rather than actually the real estate agent was we had so many deaths. As Sam said, we have 10 killings in this. We have the situation of trying to film in actually just about 24 hours in the apartment, and therefore scheduling everyone to come in, do their pre-scene, to get makeup and costume stuff, or get that sorted out, actually do their introduction of, this is who I am, this is why I should be killed, this is why I should survive, and then kill them, and then get them out again, and then repeat 10 times. So actually trying to schedule that, trying to make sure that everyone got to the location, everyone turned up on time. They didn't. Everyone turned up at all. They didn't. Then that's why the production side took priority, and Simon came in as the real estate agent. And why Sam had to take on a character, because someone didn't show, so we had to move Recce from being his character, the chatty man, the person you just love to hate, Sam.
We have one more clip, right?
Yeah.
We got one more?
That's the video of me directing my death.
All right. Let's run that one. Here we go.
Rolling. 23, shot 2, 21. Action.
the way that he just falls to the floor and says, "Was that all right?" yeah. Give a bit of time. Give an edit point.
I'm the one editing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jackson made a point. Apparently, I didn't remember this and was telling me about it earlier. But when we actually shot that sequence, I kept making the sound effect noise. So that I kept making the noise and then I stopped making the so I just could not make that noise when I was sitting my phone. I don't remember that, but apparently that happened. So, you know.
So, Sam, you have a role in the film. It's kind of a two-part question. You play you play one of the victims, one of the characters, the chatty guy. First of all, Sam, to you, was it difficult at all, or did it feel bizarre at all for you to direct yourself? I know it can be weird for some actor directors to do that, even if it's just one scene. And secondly, and follow up on this, Martin, did you ever take Sam aside and say, "Don't give up your day job"?
So it's a weird one. I'm quite comfortable directing myself because it's improvisation. I don't need to know the lines, which is great. So I'm just ripping off what I know. I know where the story is supposed to end. I know what I'm supposed to say. I know we do a comedy show called The Making of, and that's all like it's a mockumentary. And I'm one of the main characters who plays a filmmaker who's not a very good filmmaker. So I've got quite used to just constantly having that, sometimes having to be the actor. And yeah, with improv I can do it. Give me a script, I am not an actor. I'm technically not an actor.
But so, Martin, did you actually step in to give him a few tidbits on acting or anything like that?
No, I didn't do that because, as Sam says, he wrote the thing. He knows exactly what's required of anyone. He should be able to just step into any of the roles. Maybe not Alice's, and play the part. And we actually did plan beforehand. If required, both of us were trying desperately not to be in front of the camera, but both of us were held in reserve in case we needed to. Now, there's obviously no way I could play a millennial, but you do see me sort of just pop up right at the end of the film as one of the police officers. And that's because we had two police officers, actors, to play police officers. One turned up, the other one didn't. So just move in. But as far as Sam's concerned, he can act, he can direct. He as he says, the making of web series that he's got just highlights the fact that he can play a really bad filmmaker. I think that's a compliment.
Is he a really chatty person in life? Was this like art imitating life?
I think he's got absolutely no idea about how a thermometer works or thermostat works in an apartment.
There you go. Hey, I filmed this way, backwards. Yes. Bring the camera to the other side.
Tell me about your inspiration for making The Millennial Killer.
We had the location, of course, but I really wanted to make an entertaining sort of film. I wanted to make a horror film that, like I said, wasn't too much of being too schlocky or being too artful. And we've always had the ache to want to do a slasher as it is. And because of the whole, the propaganda that, like, the whole kind of age divide that we have in society nowadays, that makes quite an interesting backdrop to tell a story. But a lot of it was down to just having something available and being told, and create a story within here. And then the great thing with those sort of improv stories is that over time, you only build extra bits into it to add those extra layers of more reasons to, like, well, okay, this because of this reason, this because of that reason. And I think, it just came from that idea of watching someone being stuck in a position where you have to continue watching the repetitive same behavior of a serial killer. And I thought that was interesting, but also, making a serial killer that had enough personality that he would be remembered in some ways.
And my take on it all is, because that's all the nice, romantic side of filmmaking, and there's real reasons why we did this. The initial comment actually came from me to Sam to say, I can get this apartment free. absolutely, totally free for a weekend. Can we just do something, not quick and dirty? But, can we get a feature out of, just filming over a weekend? Maybe spend, up to, $750. And Sam came back with the Millennial Killer.
Yeah, a few too many people.
Yeah.
But, it's a real estate agent. It had to be a few people. It had to be a few victims.
Yeah. It works, though.
Yeah.
I guess it's don't tell Sam you can't do something. He'll do it.
Yeah, I know. I should learn that lesson.
So where can we find the Millennial Killer?
So the Millennial Killer now is, we have a sales agent stroke distributor in Canada, Dark Side Releasing, based in Vancouver. So it's on their Vimeo video on demand site under Millennial Killer. Just an aside, originally called Demented Estate, which was nice and easy to spell, and Sam decided, let's change the name to Millennial Killer. I'll let you all guess what word Sam can't spell.
Millennial.
Yeah, you can sell Killer. But Blu-ray is also available on Dark Side. Plus, also they've managed to get it onto Amazon in the US,
Nice.
And TCM Shop, Deep Discount, eBay in the US, Best Buy in the US, Walmart.
So it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's all online. Well, it's on online sites. We haven't yet found anyone holding physical stock, but you never know. I think the challenge for your viewers is, if anyone finds it, please let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to see a photo of it in the shop. That'd be awesome, just to see it sitting there.
Yeah.
And Sam, for you millennials, it's MILLENNIAL.
Well done, Kevin.
Don't worry, Sam. You're safe. Before I just wanted to know, what are you guys up to next?
We've actually, because of obviously everything going on at the moment, we recently did a new logo for a film called Synopsis, which is a fantasy horror film, which we've worked out how to shoot in consideration of, social distancing. The good thing I have is that I live with Jackson, our cinematographer, and one of the other guys, part of Trash House, Ryan Carter, is an actor. So we've got, okay, well, we can be close to each other. So we're going out to the woods to shoot a fantasy horror film in literally 9 days. So that's kind of like the main thing on my mind. And there's a load of films we've shot over the last few years coming towards the end points with the edit. So we've got quite a few Trash House and with HD films. Another serial killer film called The Climb. A Recce monster satire film with pig monsters, which we're working on at the moment. And yeah, we're always trying to work on different things, but my main mind is trying to focus on senseless being the priority of what we're doing next. And that's something that it's very different. It's a lot more fantastic elements, a lot more special effects, and a lot of strangeness in a kind of 80s monster movie in some ways. I'm really looking forward to doing that.
Sounds like fun.
That's it. It feels like fun. It feels like fun now. I'm on set in the dark at night time. It won't feel like fun. But
yeah,
it'll feel scary because you're filming a horror movie.
Go ahead, Mark.
And because that's all sort of COVID, social distancing, and all the rest of it, very limited cast and crew on that one, which means I get to sleep at nights.
It's acting.
I'm not involved.
For those of us non-millennials, sleep is good.
Right. Well, there must probably a horror story in that as well. So,
Well, I wanted to thank Sam Masson-Bell, writer and director of The Millennial Killer, and Martin Payne, producer. And thank you very much for the stories. This is an amazing film, and definitely check it out. Go on Amazon right now. It's available. And Dark Side Releasing, you can purchase the Blu-ray. And maybe I'll sneak it on a Best Buy shelf and take a quick picture before they catch me.
There you go.
You do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you very much for being on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the Grim and Bloody Theater once again. And you have a good night, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.